Hey guys, David here. Today's job is we have to fix up the drain, and it's a little bit of a sad story as to why. So this is what happens when city people move to the bush. So I'm going to pan out and show you what's happened next door here and why we have to relocate this drain to somewhere else. So just a bit of a backstory. The property next door was just recently subdivided. We've been on this property for 43 years. We've never had neighbours, and all of a sudden the guy next door has subdivided off 10 acres. So before I show you what's happened, remember that they've got 10 acres, I've got 7, and Dad has 40. So between the three properties there's 57 acres sort of thing at everyone's disposal. So just give you a quick look at what's gone on. So this is where they are building. So as you can see, both the top drain and this bottom drain are draining into their new construction site. So I have to fix this up. I haven't been asked, but we know it's coming. So there's my shed. There's their house. That's their driveway, all their building materials, and that's my house. So there's a total combined here of say 17 acres between the two places. So this is what happens when city people move here. They just can't think for themselves, and they're just thinking like suburbs, and they just want to be beside us. They've even run their driveway straight up the side. Now this guy had the audacity to ask why we didn't take power from my power lines and run power lines right through the front of my house to his place. He had to ask why he has to bring power from the front of the block. I mean, seriously? Anyway, I'm a bit beside myself. I feel as though our family home has been somewhat destroyed. This is not the lifestyle that we would move out here for. And to be perfectly honest, I feel as though they've kind of missed the whole point of moving out here to the bush. Not that you can really call it the bush anymore. This is like urban suburban now. Like when we first moved here 40 something years ago, there weren't this many houses in the area, and most of them have been developed, and it is coming, quite a community now. So I guess that's progress. And in all fairness, my cottage was built a little bit too close to the road, but we didn't know somebody was going to subdivide this. We were actually under the impression that you couldn't subdivide in this particular area because the council wanted to preserve farming and farm life. Anyway, so be it. Let's relocate this drain and get on with it. Maybe drop a comment in the comments below. Tell me how you feel about what this have. Am I seeing this wrong? Do I feel wrong about this? Should I be happy? Do I think that somehow this monstrosity of a build, like this is a big house. This is twice the average size house and massive earthworks, right? Massive. Will it increase the value of my property, or will it decrease the value of my property? Do people want to move out here to be this close to each other? I don't know. I kind of think that things have gone backwards, but hey, that's just me. I have been spoilt for 40 something years having had this property at my disposal. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's get this drain fixed before more rain comes. And yeah, thanks. I haven't used this blade before on this particular machine, so this is the first for me. First thing we're going to do is divert this one here because it's going straight into their cut. It's probably the most important one. I'm going to knock out this speed hump here. I think most people have realised now I want them to slow down on the driveway. Dig this drain down into that other one, and then we'll work back from there. So I don't think I need to go too overboard because the water will probably do most of the work once it starts to come down the hill. So let's see how we go with that. I think that's enough today. I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. I'm having a bit of trouble steering the thing. I'm not really in the mood. Obviously this thing here's upset me a little bit. Probably need a load of road base through here to raise this up over some of these roots anyway. I'll let it rain, and I'll use the rain to sort of shape this a little bit more because I found that's a lot easier there. There are some high spots, but I can just come through when it's raining and the water's flowing with a rake, and that'll just excavate that out nicely. So that looks like it'll work mostly. Now I'll just give you a little bit more of a look at what they've done here next door. So here you go. There's our boundary peg. So in this instance here, our fence is 1 metre out. Maybe not quite because the peg's in there a little bit more. But down further there, it's only, you know, a couple of 100 mil, and up there. So the fence weaves in and out a bit, and that's not uncommon for old fences in the old days. Particularly because we generally had to build a fence beside another fence so cattle could still be controlled. Now, you can see here they've cut, up there they've actually cut right into the fence. They've actually damaged the fence up there a little bit, and they haven't even left themselves enough room. So this is typical suburbia, built right up to your boundary. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. It is a huge house. It's about 400 square meters here in Australia. That's about double the average house. There's my house just down there, and there's my shed. So don't forget to leave me a comment. Should I be upset, or should I be happy that progress is coming to my area? Thanks guys, have a great day.